You cannot afford to miss a single moment of the next hour. Get ready to have your ideas about sexuality, love, and relationships blown wide open. It's time to get educated, entertained, and enlightened, as well as sexually empowered. You have now tuned into the Tantra Love, Sex, and Intimacy Show. Now, here's your host, Tanya Diamond.
Hello, everybody. It's another sunny day in Seattle. We all know how I feel about sunny days.
We do. Hello, Seattle and the world.
You know what? If I wanted endless sunny days, I'd be living in Tonga doing naked haircuts on the beach for $10.
All right.
Really. I mean, what's going on? But you like this.
I kind of do. I'm doing okay with it.
Yeah. All right. All right. How about you, Billy?
You know what? I'm just so tired. Listen, we don't get it very often.
You're tired of people like me bitching about it.
You know what? But see, it's the people that always are bitching about. We never get any sun. It always rains in Seattle.
No, I like the rain.
It's always gray around here, and then you bitch when it.
No, not
it's
me.
90 degrees. It's like, you know what?
I have to say, now I'm thinking about Tonga, but
naked haircuts on the beach in Tonga.
Yeah.
So we are here today. That almost sounds like a wedding start, doesn't it? We're here today, gathered today here too.
Right.
Yes. What are we going to talk about today, Joshua?
Well, we're talking about orgasm.
Orgasm.
As usual.
Is that something that we talk about a lot?
Usually, yes.
I picked up the Cosmopolitan magazine here. This is the hot issue. And, things on the cover like guys rate 125 sex moves. Thousands of men agree these are the techniques that send them over the edge. But really what was most fascinating was the orgasm whisperer. Every woman needs one. What?
Now, is that a man who speaks softly into her ear while she orgasms? Or is that a woman who stands at the edge of the bed whispering tips? I mean, I'm a bit confused here.
Turn him into the orgasm whisperer.
Nice. Can I take a few minutes and read that?
Sure. I think we're going to take a look at it here because, it's kind of fascinating what people, where they get their information. Okay. So they're saying that the title here, after they turn him into the orgasm whisperer, it's hand your guy a bottle of the slippery stuff and he'll take you to O-Town every time.
Every time?
Every time.
Haven't we talked about letting go of the agenda?
Well, we talk about that all the time, but
that's true.
But
we're
look at the end.
Mass
look
public.
at the front.
We're just happy that they can give orgasms now.
Look at the front of this magazine.
I would use some lube with her.
Yeah. Okay. To get that zipper down on her dress.
Yes.
All right. So what they're saying here is, a sexy smile, good hands, rhythmic hips. No doubt, your guy has what it takes to get you
Okay.
Really.
And.
Yeah, but there's one more thing that
there's more.
Go ahead. There's more. There's one more thing that can seriously up your odds of climaxing.
Okay.
Experts agree that personal lubricant, aka lube, can make every aspect of sex more satisfying. Is this really a secret?
I unfortunately have to agree.
Have to agree that it's a secret?
That it's something that most people, they keep making new people, and those new people
they don't know about this.
Billy,
do you know about this?
I do, but honestly, I would have said a year ago I was totally in the black about it. I've worked more and more, radio promotions, and they had to do with lovers, and they had to do with intimacy nights.
Right.
So that's where I learned more about it. But honestly, a year ago, I would probably say that I was another 20-something-year-old guy who thought that he knew everything about sex, and let's be honest, don't know.
He's finding out a lot about sex in this show, right?
Seriously.
I think a lot of women and a lot of men don't realize the resource that lubricant is.
Yeah, well, it says join the club. Sales of lube have risen 32% so far this year.
What's a good company to invest in for lube?
Well, I don't know, but my favorite is Firefly lubricant.
Mm-hmm.
You can only buy it on the internet.
Mm-hmm. I know.
So Firefly, that's awesome stuff. It's edible. It's great. You don't have to wash it off.
It's actually a skin conditioner.
Right, it is. It's like the yoni conditioner.
Does that mean it doesn't matter if it gets in your hair either?
Well, it is kind of interesting in the hair. I mean, it just kind of, you just have to shampoo.
Right.
But no,
right.
It's not bad for your hair. Not bad for any parts of you.
It's a wonderful combination of natural oils.
Yeah, shea butter and different types of things like that. It's awesome stuff. So that's the Tantra teachers telling you right now that if you run out there and get on the internet and buy Firefly lubricant, If there's a place that says, tell them who sent you, just...
Yes, there is a place that says who sent you.
Really?
And you enter Tanya Diamond into that spot.
Awesome. They're going to wonder, who is that? So apparently, with a little extra lube, every touch and thrust will feel smoother and more pleasurable. Thank goodness for Eric Garrison, who's a consulting sexologist in New York City. And because you're wetter, your partner will feel more confident, which will inspire him to try new moves and positions. Now, isn't that an offensive comment?
Because you're wetter, he'll feel more confident.
Yeah.
I always just sort of went for, I think I want to try this now. I think I want to try this now.
Not necessarily because
No.
Because you're wetter. It's not you're wetter, you're lubricated. They just put the lube on. But don't you think that, now here's the thing. So then could that become like the lazy man's way to arousal?
It depends on what the goal is. If it's slather it on and stick it in, yeah, that's lazy.
Did you just stick it in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was all legal words on the radio.
No, that's true.
Versus using it as almost a social lubricity.
Say that again.
Social lubricity.
That's almost sexy.
I know. Typically,
that's a word.
I've heard people refer to alcohol as a social lubricant.
Right.
But really, what I'm talking about is a hand graced with some lubricant on a yoni is a way to create more love. I'm not saying make love. I'm saying create love because she appreciates. I have experienced women who have appreciated so greatly just the opportunity to get slick and touch.
Yeah, true enough. Well, it says, that's just the beginning. Find out why this liquid accessory should be always within reach of your bed. I actually want a little holster to strap it on.
Okay, so sort of like one of those flask things on the inner thigh,
it's like
inner
the
thigh or outer thigh?
The outer thigh.
Outer thigh, yeah, because it would get squished on the inner.
Right, exactly.
I want to have cup holders on the side of the bed.
Yeah,
both sides.
Right, there we go. Now we're talking. So I know that a lot of women are really that they're kind of embarrassed by that because somehow our society has told them they're supposed to be wet in 30 seconds if they're really hot, and if for some reason if you have to use any lubricant, then you're not.
Right.
But we don't like that. In an ideal world, the Cosmo says, your body would provide enough natural lubricant to keep you slick from the moment he slides his hand between your legs to the last frenzied moment of intercourse. Unfortunately, that's not likely. There's a myth out there that if a woman is completely aroused, she'll get wet and stay that way. But the fact is that you can be turned on and either not get wet enough or even experience desert-like conditions down south.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. The reason? Medication, dehydration. It's just not happening fast enough to keep up with the rate of action. And if you're not wet enough, what happens?
Ouch. Irritation.
Ow.
Are you done yet?
Yeah, that is, I'll tell you what, maybe why, women want intercourse over faster than they might. If it's like...
That's part of it. If it started uncomfortable and it continued uncomfortable.
Yeah, not happy.
No.
Not happy. And if you add, like, latex to that, latex burn, ooh, nasty.
No good.
You can't tell, really, that it's happening until after it's happened and it's too late.
Right.
It's not pretty.
So lubricant around the world. Please use lubricant.
Exactly.
From the beginning.
So let's see. They're saying it doesn't just help prevent sex from hurting. It can also help the two of you maintain a steady rhythm most women need to orgasm. Now, okay, the 58% of women or more that don't, or 89% of women that don't orgasm through intercourse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so...
Plus, he's going to be done, I don't know.
He's going to be done sooner?
He's going to be done soon anyway. You get a good rhythm going and a good lubrication. Sometimes the lubrication helps with lasting a little bit longer because there's less friction. But honestly, if you're really going to get into a good rhythm, a guy's got to be on round 2 to really have some longevity.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, you know what I mean? Ladies, if you have a question on that, give me a call.
What?
I don't mean it that
what
way.
now? Wait, what did you
that
just
did
say?
sound kind of good.
What? Can you
what I meant to say was call the radio station and I will elaborate.
Okay, wow. It's been hot here for a while. And
Getting hot in here.
Our brains, I don't know what's happening there. When you're wet, he can thrust continuously, and it's easier for him to vary the speed. That extra stimulation will help you build sexual tension. I think that, if he had enough foreplay maybe to start, would have probably been a better idea.
I want to change. I want to take the word foreplay out of the dictionary.
Okay,
it's not in the dictionary.
Isn't it?
Because the concept of foreplay, yes, it's just Latin. play before. But it's become this concept. It's become this requisite, which it is. But why not just have the entire act of intimacy start with an exceptional amount of touching? I call it the dance. Okay? And just be in every moment. Just touch. And as guys, I'm talking to you. Touch, touch, touch.
Not themselves?
You can do some of that. But essentially, caress her body. Her skin, consider her skin an entire erogenous zone.
It is.
And work with it at different textures, different pressures. Just explore her entire body and ask her what feels good.
Yeah, what you going to say to that usually?
I think she's going to say things that sound whimpery and breathy, and just explore her body. Stop the how soon can I get it in act, so that foreplay is no longer a concept of I have to get through this toll booth in order to get into that doorway. It's
and even if and even if that had to happen, like what about middle play? And middle play. And then the middle 3/4 play, and then after play.
So you're saying foreplay and then intercourse, and then stop and have middle play.
Yeah.
And then more intercourse. And then
right.
more play. Well, I didn't want to shock the listeners right off with that concept. One of my, it's just a dance.
Yeah. Were you just about to say one of my favorite things to do? Were you just about to say that?
Yeah.
And you stopped yourself? Did you just censor yourself?
Did I censor myself? I kind of beeped myself because I want to save that for next week, or if a caller calls in, I'll talk about it.
Okay, so what he's trying to do is saying he's only going to really get out the good stuff.
I can't give you all of me in one round. Come on.
No, that's true. That's true. So basically, it's okay. So it's supposed to be cool for him. While a guy may logically know that a woman's wetness has nothing to do with his sexual prowess subconsciously, he may still think he's not good enough in bed to arouse her. But lube lets him forget about that fear and focus on how good everything feels. And it's better than spit. The whole porno thing with the spit, that's just so inelegant.
Yeah.
It's not good.
No, it doesn't. Well, I've done it before, but there are much better ways to go about this.
Well, yeah. But how you do it, how you do it, don't do it like they do it there.
Oh, what are they just
like
the 5 foot? Oh.
Just...
No, let's not go there.
No, it's not pretty. Really, really, really. Okay, so sexy ways to use lube.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, what?
I like to hold the lube bottle high enough that she can watch it dripping.
There you go.
And then as each drop hits her yoni or clitoris, the pearl in particular, just that feeling and sensation creates its own wave of experience.
Okay, now here, when they're telling you how to use it, and they're talking about different ones here in the magazine, the silicone-based ones, they're saying make sure you wash it with soap and water afterwards because it's more likely to stick to your body and it could attract bacteria and cause infection. This is why we're talking about Firefly.
Silicone-based, okay.
Okay.
So
yes. I think Firefly might want to sponsor our show.
Well, here's the thing that people have to be aware of with Firefly, is that it cannot be used with latex condoms.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, they've reformulated it.
Oh, really?
So as exceptional as it is, there's a limitation.
Okay, and I didn't know that. All right. So there's these warming lubes and stuff like that. Yeah, scary. Okay, so I had an experience with that. You
ever touch yourself after using Bengay? Not you, but guys in particular, because we always scratch and feel and touch and grab. The thought of warming, maybe someone could correct me on this, but that just concerns me. Once it's on, you've saturated the mucous membrane.
Well, that's true. I tried to get some off, so I bought this little packet, and it was like, ooh, increase your pleasure and all that. It's like, okay, sure, I'm game. Just a little bit, put some on, and started to get warm. It's like, oh, okay, that's all right. And then, pretty soon I was screaming and yelling in the bathroom trying to wash this off, and of course it's...
little cayenne pepper?
Yeah, it felt like it. It was pretty intense. I did not like it. But,
what do you think of Altoids?
They're like round and light and...
Someone mentioned the concept of using those
Well, once again, man, I'm telling you, this stuff's... it's intense for your mouth.
Yeah, curiously strong.
Curiously strong, all right? So I don't know if you like curiously strong, then perhaps that will be a good thing.
Okay, if anyone has any information with that.
Right.
I'm curious.
People like lots of stuff. Didn't we talk about Pop Rocks?
Yeah.
Not a good thing. Not a good thing. People do weird things and put strange stuff on them and in them, though. So let's see. Then they're telling you how to use it. You can incorporate it in your foreplay. Put it like on your fingers before you start using it. Here's the thing, though. Okay, so if you don't have one that you can eat or taste good or doesn't taste or whatever, then the bummer was I'm always thinking, oh, here comes the lube, and there goes the oral sex.
That's a dilemma. And I'm also thinking in terms of washing off the silicone-based lubricants. That almost implies that how does a woman get that out of her? Well, that almost implies that either you have to own a bidet or use douching on a regular basis, which they don't recommend.
Right. So,
what are my options for other types of lubricant other than Firefly?
Well,
are they all silicone based?
A lot.
No, there's water based.
There's silicone based. There's there's different types. You can go and look online and check out all the different types.
Silicone based. Is that like caulking? Get the caulking gun?
I don't know. I don't know.
Sorry, wrong direction. That's the home show.
Yeah, that's home show, yes. So, and of course, most people know this, that if you're using a condom and you put a little drop inside the condom at the tip before putting it on, that
definitely
adds...
lends to sensation.
Yeah, that helps your sensitivity.
I can vouch for that.
If you put too much on...
Then you lose the condom.
You lose the condom, right. So
it'll slide off. Not enough traction on the vajra, and you'll be fishing for condoms. Right.
And if you use too much on the around the entrance to the yoni, then you will can reduce friction so much that you may not be able to feel each other at all.
Right.
Woo-hoo-hoo, what happened there?
Wait, where are you?
La, la, la. All right. Advanced tricks? They've got advanced tricks in here. This
With
is
lubrication?
like I guess. Yeah, that's what it's talking about.
Do you have a highlighter?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, advanced tricks. Anytime you're handling, I love the euphemisms they use in magazines, just crack me up. You're handling his package. Lube can make things wetter and better. Surprise him with a hand job by placing lube in your hand. And then you can get a good grip. And then squeezes a banana. What? About as hard as you would squeeze a banana without it getting mushy.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, they're suggesting, not to spoil him. Not to hurt.
No, not to hurt him. Okay.
Not to hurt him.
And then apparently you can use it for oral sex too, because some women can't get enough spit going. So flavored lube provides enough wetness so your jaw won't get as tired.
Flavored lube. Okay, we're gonna have to do some research on that.
Right. We'll do the research and then come back and let people know. Okay. Well, there you go. So that's what. So apparently, did that title really turn him into the orgasm whisperer?
It was basically turning him. The correlation I'm making, reading comprehension here, is that lubrication makes a man the orgasm whisperer.
Well, I'll tell you what. You do not have to be as good with your hands as with what, Billy?
Nothing. I was just going to say you guys can go to break, but hey, don't worry about it. We got time.
He's just flapping his arms around over there.
Hey. I just wanted to say hi, Josh. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Good to see you today, Billy.
Man.
So the deal is that I don't think that just lubrication is going
to... you need some technique and some interest and attention.
But you don't have to be as good with your hands when you have lube.
Right.
And I mean, there is nothing worse than dragging dry hands across the skin. That's just not a happy thing.
No dry hands.
Don't like it. Don't like it at all. All right, let's, Cosmo. Okay, whatever. Let's hit some email questions. How do I know this love is the real thing? Is that my love?
That's a huge existential question.
Well, first of all, love is an emotion.
Right.
Okay. It's always real.
And
but it's just not lasting.
It's always real. It's a sensation that's occurring within the brain of the person experiencing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's triggered 99% from transference. Someone reminds you of something that you have an idealized image about.
Ooh.
And then their ability to fulfill that fantasy of the one is based on your idealized image of how life should be.
Uh-oh.
And then we get into relationship and discover who they really are, and we feel they change.
Wow, you're just a bummer.
Sorry, did I ruin that one?
That's a bummer.
All right, get me riled up. Give me a few more moments.
Gosh.
How do I know if it is the one?
No, the real thing.
If it is the real thing.
How do I know this love is the real thing? First of all, it's always the real thing. I mean, it's always, if you feel love, then it's real. But that's no reason to have a relationship.
Right.
Wow. Did I just say that too?
You did.
Right, it's not.
The two of us just sort of, smash this one straight down into the...
Wow. I think more importantly, it's how much you like the person.
Ooh, wait, I've got it.
What?
The way you know if it's real love is that you've got your life as together as you can. You love yourself.
Yes.
You're not looking for someone else to fulfill or complete.
Didn't I write a chapter in a book about that?
I think you did. Is that book published yet?
No, it's soon.
So love yourself, love your life, be engaged in your life to such a degree that you are in love with yourself.
You're in a self state of love.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And from there, as you experience other people, you're bringing your authentic self to them. You're not sacrificing or watering yourself down to please or not scare anyone. And if you truly are compatible and you enjoy who each other are, and you like who you are when you're with that person.
We said this before.
Yeah.
We like who we are. Like we feel authentic and real. We're not putting on some act to try to make things happen. Yes, that's very true. Liking the person, I think, is more important. Respecting the person, having similar values, that type of thing, I believe is all more important than... is because if you have all that, you're going to have the love too.
Yeah, and everything is subject to change. So if you're a person that can handle an evolving relationship...
That's right. I coined that phrase.
You did. And that's what's going to be if you know that it's real.
Evolving relationships.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about that. I'm writing it. That's a chapter in the book, too.
Chapter in the book. Check the website.
Yeah, that made a big splash on Facebook when I, am I going to say this on the air now?
I think you are.
Yeah, when I came out, when I came out to talk about the fact that I was having, and of course Facebook just has in a relationship, single, an open relationship, or it's complicated.
Right,
they didn't have evolving relationship.
Right.
So
maybe we could write and get them to
right. So I had to check off the open relationship, which just sent everybody into a tither. And it's cliche. Tantra and open relationships, those don't go together. So please don't say, "Ooh, look, she's tantric." We don't have to do that. I've been monogamous. Well, yeah, monogamous most of my tantric life. And I got to a point where monogamous relationships, my cheating monogamous relationships,
right.
they just
weren't
monogamous
relationships go for you?
Tell you what, they just weren't working out so well.
Were both of you monogamous?
Apparently not. And monogamy actually means one person for your entire life.
Entire life.
Like, who is monogamous anymore?
Well, that would imply that when you're ready to divorce, you'll be with no one ever again.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. So this, I had this whole thing about thinking, what's on with all this? 70% of men or more cheat on their relationships. 61% divorce rate. More people have emotional affairs, and see, people don't even talk about that.
They don't even think about thinking about it.
I mean, emotional affairs are rampant. It's like the woman's not getting her intimacy needs met emotionally from her partner, so she has online things or best friend things or all these things that still take away from the relationship. So, can one person fulfill everything for you?
Ooh, that's a question. I used to think no. One person should not be expected to fulfill everything. And part of that is just looking at relationships. We should have friendships that fulfill a variety of needs. And are you saying actually more relationships at that intimate level to meet the different needs?
Well, people were saying, well, does this mean you're polyamorous? Does this mean what does this mean? And I said, well, what this means is that I'm in an evolving relationship. And evolving because as humans, I believe we're evolving as we go along in our lives. And evolving relationships mean that you do make commitments. You make commitments to the agreements with your partners, whatever, and you stick to those. I mean, it's still commitment. It's still agreements. Evolving it does not mean to me that everybody's just out having sex with everybody, or what's the point? That's just just having sex with everybody.
Emotional safety, physical safety. It's still commitment. It's still relationship. It's still responsibility. Right.
It's just, so most traditional relationships don't talk about the hard stuff.
Right.
They get together and go, ooh, we're exclusive.
Are you saying they use monogamy for an easy out?
I think they're just shoving stuff in a box. I think it's just, I think people aren't talking about it. Yeah, shoving stuff in a box.
Don't say those things to
sorry,
me.
Joshua. Sorry.
Like V-books.
I know. But putting a relationship inside a box and saying, we're not even... it's the same story.
Well, it makes it easy not to go into the difficult topics, you're saying.
It's the same story about the roast. We've all heard that story. So, one day at Thanksgiving, the kid asked their mom, Mom, why do we cut the ends off the roast? Well, I don't know. Your grandma used to do that. Grandma, why do you cut the ends off the roast? I don't know. Great-grandma used to do that. Great-grandma, why do you cut the ends off the roast? Oh, our oven was really small and the roast didn't fit in, so we just cut the ends off. But, nobody's asked that question for, generations. And Our relationships are really like that as well. I'm going to sneeze. Hang on a second. Start talking.
So with that whole roast metaphor, what you're saying is everybody cuts their relationship with the assumptions that they've had all along, and nobody really ever talks about relationships except for the knight in shining armor, the prince, the princess, frogs, all that stuff. And it's nobody really talks about why so many relationships are a struggle.
Well, so I put that out there on Facebook, and this guy says, well, how come you can't commit to one man for your lifetime? And it's like, well, I kind of am committed to one man at this moment with these agreements. And, it's like, I had to tell him, it's not working. Mm-hmm. It's not working.
There are a lot of concepts that are ideal. That's why I call them idealized images. Or I don't call them. I didn't coin that phrase. But there's so many environments where there's an idealized image of how things should be. And when we abstain from things without conversation being available, it becomes an obsession. We can talk about in some religious circles where a priest or a religious figure is supposed to be celibate. Mm-hmm. What did that really mean? Some people are ideally predisposed for celibacy, and some people aren't. Mm-hmm. If you don't know how to move your sexual energy so that it doesn't torment you, like most men are tormented by their sexual energy, then there's no place for men taking a vow of celibacy and then putting themselves in a leadership role. Right. And that's a broad statement.
Well, all I know is that, over the years of my relationships, not talking about the hard stuff, meaning who has State of the Union meetings? If you get together with your partner and it's like, so you're presuming we're exclusive, what are the reasons to be exclusive?
Physical safety.
Physical safety is a huge one today. But if 70% of men are cheating, are you physically safe if they're lying to you? Or the women that are cheating? Because there's lots of women out there cheating too. So it's
right. They don't have any agreement on what physical safety is, but they dare not speak about it.
Right.
So, you have to say, honey, you're marrying me and I'm one of the 70%. And so what I need to let you know in advance is...
Yeah. It's kind of scary. I'd rather actually have some conversation around that. So, yes, ideally people would, the fantasy is you meet the one. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, you're never attracted to anybody else again in your lifetime.
Right, violins and harps going off in the heavens.
I'm a romantic.
I believe you. Am I ruining the moment for
you? You are. I'm pretty hardcore romantic, Okay. And I've just had to realize through all the years of, working with couples and, my own situations that isn't. Now, there are people, I know people that do that, but, they're working their commitment.
After the first month or two, though, the violinists get expensive.
You're only giving it a month or two? Wow.
Yeah.
You're jaded.
I think it's wonderful. I agree. You can meet someone that you feel so special when you're with them, and the synergy between is so powerful that the physical and the emotional and the spiritual intimacy has a profound and life-changing effect. That, I'm with you. Mm-hmm. And when we start getting into the day-to-day life, when we start getting into the going to work, coming home, and going back, kids, when do you have free time to just be adults together, let alone having, sex?
Right, exactly. So these things are tough. Billy, what are you thinking about this conversation so far?
I think it's, I think it's really interesting myself, but it's just crazy because in every aspect of life, there's someone, like I know that my aunt is 60-something years old, 65 years old, and she is still married to her high school sweetheart.
Right.
And literally, she went on vacation with my mom about a month ago and was hit on by these guys that were looking for cougars for the very first time, other than her husband.
Right.
Had no idea what to even do because she had never been approached by another guy. So it was just like, it's amazing how people can live in a life like that when me at 23, I'm like, how could you be with that one person
for that long?
You're 65 years old and with your high school sweetheart, really?
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, you gotta wonder. I mean, what was the expectation? Because there's 40 million sexless couples.
It's very true.
So I mean, you got to ask then. Do they have a great sex life? Did they have a great sex life? Or is it just they got married and that's what they did? I'm
sure it's what that was, and I'm sure religion had a lot to do with that part too.
Right.
It's it's completely a different change of mind.
Right. Well, and serial monogamy is what most people practice.
Right. In a monogamous relationship until it ends.
2 week serial monogamy, every 3 or 4, every month, every few months, whatever, serial monogamy. And, why are people afraid? I mean, so what is it that makes it scary to be able to tell your partner, wow, I am really attracted to this other person, and I don't really know what I want to do with that? Because quite frankly, for me, I know that charge of not talking about it becomes obsession. Mm-hmm. You're looking over there, you're like, whoo, and it's like, ooh, I can't do that. Ooh, I can't even talk about it. Ooh, I can't even think about it. And it becomes charged, hotter than hot. Mm-hmm. Whereas, I found that it's like, well, in this evolving relationship, if I say to my partner, well, kind of like this other person over here, and he's like, well, okay, what do you think about that? Well, la-di-da, this and that. Sometimes it's just like, that's it. It's like, oh, okay, charge gone. Great. Right. Wow. All right. That wasn't so bad. Or that I'm flirting, or that I'm looking at somebody and my relationship's not in danger. Mm.
Right. You ever get caught flirting and have your partner say, so what'd you like about him?
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, he is pretty cute.
Was that fun? Is there anything I can do that he was doing, or you want to?
Right. I mean, so what does it take to be in these types of relationships? I think, evolving relationship to me means you're not really monogamous. You're not polyamorous. You are wherever you are, that you and the partners you're with or partner you're with talk about and agree on. So that it is a changing, there has to be authentic, open communication, because I don't really identify anymore with monogamy. I mean, I've had too many partners to be, anything other than serial monogamy, and all those cheating ones weren't working so well.
Those didn't work well for you.
And polyamory, to me, also implies that I will, and not all, okay, so nobody get mad at me here. There's going to be people angry, but, the polyamory, that I'm going to be out looking, that part of my mission in life is to go out looking. I don't really want to be all the way over there either. I kind of want to be.
That's the catch-22. All these different terms have different definitions depending on who you speak with.
Well, and they all should really have the definition of you and the person or people you are with. Mm-hmm. Having authentic, straight-up communication about where everybody is.
Are you talking about honesty?
God, I'm talking about it. I know. Isn't that crazy?
Not just answering questions honestly, but actually bringing information preemptively?
I know.
Ooh.
Wow. Yeah.
That's kind of scary.
Well, I think it's about time.
What about the whole scheduling thing?
Well, that gets into crazy stuff depending on how many people you're having to schedule and do what, where, and how.
Right.
But, so what else does it take? It takes people involved in the relationship to, one, sit down and have an agreement. Talk about what they want at that time frame. So, like right now, if I'm interested in one lover, and I'm essentially monogamous with one lover, then if all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, because I'm kind of not, I don't believe in just getting carried away by your hormones.
You were crossing the street,
and all of a sudden, there he was.
All the sounds seemed to stop, and the sun got brighter. And
that happens.
Man.
I mean, that happens, but I don't act on that because in my agreement, it's the casual sex isn't happening. I've had enough sex in my life. I know that most sex isn't that great unless there's some training that goes on behind it. So
you don't want to train another one at this point.
Well, I'm open to that, I guess, but I mean, it's not like night. I have to do it there, right? It's not going to have like, oh my God, if I miss this opportunity, it'll never happen again.
Right.
So there's that time to pick up the phone and call your partner and say, well, I just met this person.
Mayday.
Yeah, mayday. I met this person, and I'm really grooving on him, and what do you think? And your partner says, well, yeah, I mean, you're not going to lose your relationship about this because you're talking about it, but, you might be in 3-month quarantine.
3-month quarantine
before you get tested all over again.
3-month quarantine.
I don't know.
Ooh, so you play on vacation, and then you've got to go to the Planned Parenthood or the clinic to make sure you're clear and clean for.
Yeah, maybe so.
Oh, right.
Depending on what level of safety you were using. So what you realize is that what you do affects everybody
in the relationship,
right? And whether that's I could essentially be with my partner for the next 10 years and just be with one person.
Mm-hmm.
If that's where I was feeling and that's how I was feeling. And if not, all of a sudden, but I would come and say, hey, I've met somebody, I really kind of like them. I think I'd like to join into a relationship with them maybe. Mm-hmm. What do you think? Let's talk about it. And I don't think it should be done when you're lacking in your relationship that you currently have.
Right. That has to be communicated in the relationship in itself.
Right. So it's not one of those things where, I don't feel very good. They're not treating me really nice, so I'm just going to go over here and find somebody to treat me better. That's crap.
That's called trading relationships.
Yeah. Yeah. Or, my other partner's spending too much time with his other partners. So I'm going to go get myself one so I feel better. No, this requires a certain level of... It requires
a level of stepping up, arriving and owning your own emotions and needs.
Yeah.
And even if it's, I'm really busy or I'm really into this person right now, let's find you someone that rocks.
Yeah, there you go. Whoa, going out and finding your partner, partner.
Let's all team up.
Let's all team up and find Tanya somebody else. Well, it's really essential, I think, that, not essential, but it's really nice if all the partners involved actually like each other too, or at least can communicate. It
makes a big difference.
Right. Anyway, the brave new world here, I'm, talking about this on air to thousands of people all over the world.
Yeah.
Saying, evolving relationships, what would it look like? I've helped couples actually come to these agreements.
Mm-hmm.
Couples in crisis, couples not in crisis, but needing some type of difference. Once again, in my viewpoint, it's not just a sexual free-for-all.
Right.
That to me is like then don't be in a relationship unless you meet somebody else that wants to be in a sexual free-for-all with you and somehow you guys just want to live together or something. I don't know.
Right.
But it should be determined by each person. And the honesty, the integrity, the accountability has got to be stepped up.
Absolutely.
It's got to be high. And you can sit down and actually write out your agreements and see what it feels like. Now, the scary thing is women, we want to be adored. We want to feel like we're number one.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens when you have to share your partner? Does that make you less? What does that make you?
Well, there's two
Not
sides. There's two sides to that. There's we're all responsible for feeling good in our own lives.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Let's fancy that.
And as a man, if it's my role,
you're a man.
That's what I'm told. And if the role I choose is to show up with adoration, to be free from guilt, unless I've done something dumb, but to be free from guilt and replace that with honesty and communication and show up intrigued and interested to the best of my ability. I still need to be authentic if I'm feeling down, but I still need to connect. I still need to touch, and show up with a level of adoration that at least lets my partner know I care about you and I love you, not just with my words, but with my actions.
Right. Yeah. I like this concept, and I'll be talking more about it and how it's playing out and how it's working. But, just think about the fact that, I'm kind of a flirty type of person. I think flirting is an art form. I think it's essential in keeping women's sex drive high, that we're engaged in that. And being with somebody that thinks that's awesome and doesn't have a problem with it, inevitably they're getting most of that juice that comes back.
Figuratively speaking, literally speaking.
Not so bad. So that we'd have to let go of that one and only that romantic ideal of the one and only, to incorporate you're your one and only, and you can share that.
And a caveat to that is even in a monogamous relationship, if the couple can talk about,
right?
How often is the quandary of the man sees an attractive woman walk by and his eyes are glued to it. Now, there's a respectful way to appreciate beauty, and then there's a lecherous way to appreciate beauty. But how to discuss in a relationship how to move through those situations. You know, how often if she gazes at someone walking by with the same intensity, does he get jealous, especially if that person is really attractive?
Well, jealousy is one of those things where you feel like you get jealous because you don't want to share
or lose
energy, but it's really about loss.
Yeah, it's about loss.
It's about trying to hang on. And once again, let me reiterate that 61% divorce rate, 40 million sexless couples, over 70% men cheating, and women in the 80% having emotional affairs, we're already lost.
Right.
You know?
So communicating, you know, even in a monogamous relationship, make those inroads, make those bridges of communication to even just have the emotions dispelled and talked about.
What I'm thinking is, you know, going along in my life, and let's say I'm in a part of my life where I'm feeling way more sexual than my partner. And I'm in an evolving relationship, and I can say to my partner, you know, I'm just really feeling way more sexual than you seem to be feeling. And my partner's like, yeah, that is true. You know, I'm busy. I've got lots of things going on. And why do I have to lose that love or that partner because of that? You know, when I could say, hey, you know, I think I'd like to take on a lover, and my partner could say, you know, I think that would be a great idea. You know, I know I'm just not bringing it. You know, it's just not, there's something I'm just not feeling. Not about you. You know, I love you. Everything's great.
To want your partner, to want your lover's needs to be met.
Right. And have that conversation without that, you know, and maybe you're together and you've got kids and a house, and you just don't meet each other's needs in any way but great housemates and co-parents. And if you can have that discussion where it's like, you know, well, if I have a lover or somebody over here, we don't have to blow up this entire thing and hate each other and destroy all the relationships and the kids and the finances and everything. If you like each other, you know, you're like great housemates, and you actually like each other and you wish each other the best.
That also opens a doorway that if both of your needs are getting met and you're in gratitude for each other, that you might actually be able to retain an intimate relationship and connection.
Right, or bring it back or something. Anyway, Brave New World, lots of stuff to contemplate on that. We're just blowing past the break here, Billy, so no worries. So what do you think now, Billy? You're still, what's questions in your head? What's going on?
To me, it's still a whole different world. To me, I don't understand. And I know that I'm a kid that it's been drilled into my head a million times. You don't cheat on your girlfriend. You treat her with the utmost respect. You bring her flowers and candy on Valentine's Day, blah, blah, blah. So to try to have a relationship like that I would be way too jealous of a guy to have any girlfriend or wife of mine go to someone else for anything, period.
Wow. Jealousy, what's that about?
Just the fact, I don't know. It would bug me knowing that I couldn't provide for who I wanted to provide for. You know, if I've become a mate or a relationship in this, you know, monogamous relationship, then I want to know that she can come to me for anything, whether it's...
Okay, and so she came to you and said, wow, I am so incredibly obsessed with our next door neighbor that I cannot think about anything else day or night, but I love you and I don't want to lose you and I don't know what to do. What you going to do with that, Billy?
You're going to have to decide, man. Either you're going to be with the guy next door, or you're going to be with me. You're going to be completely committed to one of us or to me, or you're going to go over there and go ahead and do whatever you want to. I'm not going to make you stay with me. You can go do whatever you want to do.
Right. But here are the
don't,
consequences.
But don't drag me through 6 months of you doing the guy next door and me not knowing about it, and you know.
Right. Yes. Well, and that's what most people do.
Yeah.
Right. And have you ever been cheated on?
I have been, yeah.
Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it?
It sucks, but I was like 17, 18, so it's like, you know what? Okay,
if
it's going to happen, now's the time that it's going to happen, regardless, whatever.
He's going to get over it.
Yeah.
We love Billy. All right, we're going to talk more about that evolving relationships as we go along through this, my journey. And so I'll throw myself out there and people can write to me and do just say what they're going to say. Ask me the questions. I got a lot of bravos on Facebook when I started this, because it's going to help a lot of people ask a lot of questions.
Right.
That's really the main thing. I'm not telling people what you should and shouldn't do. What I'm saying is what we're doing, it's not working for most people. Let's have some conversations. I love this question. Why did that thing I did with my tongue that drove my last girlfriend straight over the edge to orgasm leave the next one looking at me as if I'd tried to hand her a dead badger?
A dead badger. Oh my God.
What a hysterical question.
That would be kind of gross in the bedroom. Mid-act here, honey, hold this. I'm going to do something for you.
So why did the thing that I did with my tongue,
was.
yeah, I know, people, we need more specifics, that drove my last girlfriend straight over the edge to orgasm, leave the next one looking at me as though I tried to hand her a dead badger. Probably because she didn't like it. I'm presuming she did not like what you were doing.
If we bypass that basic assertion, yeah.
There's no such thing as woman to, the O-town right here, as Cosmo likes to say, the O-town, every time. Guaranteed every single one.
There's
Unless,
so many different factors,
right.
though.
Well, there's some women that are completely orgasmic all the time that actually call me up and say, can you help me stop having orgasms?
Give me my number. No, never mind.
You're going to help them stop having orgasms? Excellent.
No, I just want to meet them.
Yeah, wise men. Men are just obsessed with that. Okay, women are different. All women are completely different.
Absolutely.
And, even different from moment to moment and day to day.
If one's arousal cycle is accelerated, or something that he did earlier on stimulated her arousal, moisture, different areas of her yoni or her pearl are activated and receptive, then he goes and does something with the tongue that's just Shazam.
Might have nothing to do with what the tongue was doing. He might have just been bringing it verbally to begin with.
Yeah,
here's something
many factors.
That men just need to get a handle on this. Gentlemen, listen to me. Listen up big. And women that love women, listen to me as well. Women need to hear verbal. Verbal. Do you hear what I mean when I say verbal? Women need to hear you talk about things, and it's not necessarily porn things, but they need to hear you talk. Making love to a woman is really about making love to her mind, and really, if you make love to her mind in a great way, trust me, it's going to be a lot easier everywhere else. I can sit in a workshop and take a group of heterosexual women and drop them to their knees in under 5 minutes.
Can I help in that workshop?
Yeah, exactly. Just by what I say to them.
Yeah.
And I don't even have to say anything overt.
No, just suggestive, deep tone,
right?
Changing tone.
I help them visualize. I help them feel. Bring them to that space of what it is that might be happening or going to happen. And as a guy, you might say, "Wow, I don't know what to say." I'm kind of a dork, and I don't really know what to say. Let her know what you're going to do or what you are doing. It's really that simple. You can just take, yes. So, I'm, for example, hey, I'm just so excited to be slipping my finger under the edge of your bra. Right here, your skin is so incredibly soft. And as I'm pulling the shoulder strap off, and of course I'm doing this here in the studio.
And I'm watching.
Pulling the shoulder strap off, I absolutely love to see the top curve of your breast. Take a little tour. Tell her what's going on. I love how you smell. I love how you feel. I can't wait to feel and smell and taste more. What do you think?
I'm with all of that.
Yeah.
Although I am wondering, he said when I do this with my tongue, so it's going to be more like.
Well, when you're using your tongue, you can take moments of break.
But I think I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you think so?
You're saying preemptively, if you've been talking to her way before you get to the place where there's skin exposure for your tongue.
Yeah.
Then you've got a level of arousal that so many things you are going to do that you've already announced you're going to be doing.
Right.
Bring a level of arousal.
Yep. And make her wait. I keep talking about this wait thing, Men just want to just grab and plunge their fingers right in and do all that. And it's
Stop that, I do not.
Stop that. Just stop that. It's like the tongue, just give it a rest and take your time. All right. How do I know if he wants to kiss me? He's probably kissing you?
Well, there are times where I've hung back waiting for a good signal, and she was hanging back waiting for a good signal.
Uh-oh.
And, I guess I could have said, just looked in her eyes and say, I am really enjoying this.
I would really love my lips
need you to meet yours.
Yeah. Yeah, verbal. More communication, people. I just don't understand why everybody's waiting around for all these cues that you could or cannot miss when, your voice and how you use it and what you say is your most powerful seduction.
So the questioner is saying, when do I know when he wants to kiss me? Gosh.
Probably if he's attracted to you, like 30 seconds.
But how will I know?
How will she know? He's still on the date.
Okay, so from a woman's perspective, if a guy is in the room with you, he wants to kiss you.
Probably if he's asked you out, like if he's asked you out on the date, he's probably wants to kiss you.
Yeah.
You know, if it's the first time, Billy's going yes. Yes, is that true, Billy?
Absolutely.
Right, exactly.
Absolutely.
Why would he have asked you out otherwise?
Especially, and if it goes anything longer than that first date, you know that he wants to do more than kiss you.
Yeah,
okay?
See, this is just okay. All right, so how long should we wait before having intercourse?
5-10 minutes. Sorry, wrong answer. Let me rearrange that.
I think, and ladies, please don't be disappointed. I'm sure Josh was just joking.
I'm just joking.
He's just joking. How long should we wait before having intercourse? I think I kind of like the 2 to 3 month rule. And I know, wow, people just look at me like, what? Are you crazy? Billy's shaking his head over there. No way. Are you crazy? Here's the deal. Character. It comes to character, first of all. It comes to safety, physical safety, testing, these type of things. I mean, do you want to know that you like the person? I mean, I guess if you're having a booty call, which I don't know, that's kind of scary that people are just doing that kind of thing, unless you're like full gloved on dental dam.
Yeah, right, whatever.
Works, right?
Most people aren't doing that.
I know they're not.
And if it's a booty call, there's like a no questions asked agreement.
Generally, yeah. There goes Billy's making all sorts of hand gestures over there.
What? You said booty call. I don't know.
I know. He just went,
he's off in fantasy land.
What?
Yeah, he's having a good time.
Last weekend? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm thinking. There's Mr. Monogamy over there.
Are you saying right? Are you saying 2 to 3 months without? We're not saying with no touching whatsoever.
Well, I don't know, kissing and stuff like that. Kissing, but the thing is, if you get all the hormones engaged, you don't really know if you like them. There's a lot of women, they get those hormones going and they don't care if they like them, and same with the man. And, even though men say, well, I don't really know if I want to be with her unless the sex is good, yeah.
How do we disengage the hormones? I mean, that's part of the joy of getting to know someone and all that.
Right.
You mean it's actually possible to get through all of that and get to the first argument without sex?
Yeah.
Wow.
We only have 3 minutes left.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're going to have to put that one on hold. We have to talk more about that one next time.
Yeah.
And this is what I've done this. This is pretty well.
I mean, what if you're just needing sex? You're not looking for your life partner. You're not looking for your lifelong love.
Yeah.
One of your.
We'll talk about that next time because you're just needing sex. I'm like, you have a hand.
That's not an adequate answer.
I understand, and people are going, wow, wait, she's in an evolving relationship, yet she's conservative about when to have sex.
Said
3 months.
Got a hand.
And you have a hand. Wow.
Is that like you've got a friend?
I don't know. Yeah, we do. Many. Blowing people's minds about the fact that I'm conservative about several things to do with sexuality.
Yeah.
So what have we got going on at Team Tantra? We're just interviewing a promoter and a marketer. We have 2 people that we really like, and we're thinking maybe we want both.
I always like both.
Yeah, we like to take both. Why just take one? We can take both.
I like not to limit myself in that way.
And the ABCs of, I believe the title is, I'm certain, not completely solid on it, the ABCs of Tantric Living, my book in print coming, going to be done next month. And our V-book. Yes, I know you love that word, V-book.
I have to always just close my eyes and think about
Conscious Breath video embedded ebook.
Video embedded ebook for conscious breath. How to breathe.
Right. I hear
to enhance your life.
I hear like next week or the week after. I have 4 coaching programs that you need to really check out my website. I'm going to write something about them on Facebook. Get on Facebook with me. Get on Twitter with me. Get on my website at learningtantra.com and sign up. We're going to have 20 free videos about the most asked sex questions.
I love that.
That are going to be for you free very soon. So, keep it tuned in and see what we're doing. Stay tuned. In the meantime, we're all writing, getting crazy, doing lots of fun things. And we were on a boat yesterday on Lake Washington.
Having a tantric day.
Now, that
does not mean sex.
No, we were having a tantric
enjoying
experience.
The sun, enjoing the moment, enjoying the wind, swimming in the lake.
Having a great time.
Laughing, having a great time.
Right. And that's kind of what we like to do,
is
enjoy each other and have a great time.
Mm-hmm.
Managing Director Max rocks. He is like working his butt off, and our membership site is on the way very, very soon.
Nice.
Lots of things happening. Thank you, everybody. Josh is always, so much fun. And Billy, you rock.
Oh, thank you.
Love how you just will jump on there at any time.
And back to you, Tanya. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And we love you. Thank you. And we love everybody out there. Thank you, because without you, we wouldn't be here. So we will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.